Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me. This is one of our first webinars that we are running, so I do apologize in advance if there are a couple of little technical glitches, but I'm certain we're going to run smoothly today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're still awaiting quite a few attendees, so we're just going to allow a couple of minutes for everybody to join in, and we will start the meeting at about 2 minutes past 10, 3 minutes past 10. But once again, thanks for joining us and taking the time out of your busy schedules. I think this is going to be great for everybody. Right, everybody, I'm back. Okay, there were quite a few more registrations that came through, so I'm not going to wait any longer. I don't want to keep you all from your busy day. Let's get going. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. I'm going to switch my camera off now because obviously it does take a lot of bandwidth. Some people don't have high internet connection, so let's switch the camera off and let's get into the presentation. Right, guys, welcome, welcome. We are looking forward to an informative and interactive webinar. Today, joining me is Megan Blau, my admin assistant and sales administrator. There's Megan.
Hi.
Okay, she is, I'm sure you guys have dealt with her if you had FFC queries. She's my right-hand person. She's going to be running the questions and chat box, along with ensuring that your questions are attended to. So when we get to the questions and answers section, she will introduce herself and introduce the person asking the question. If you want to ask your question, please go right ahead. If you don't want to, that's also okay. You can feel free to put it into the chat box. Okay, so just a few things to remember, guys. Please ensure that your volume is turned up and familiarize yourself with the platform. If some of you are new to Microsoft Teams, I'm also a little bit new to it, so we're all learning, which is great. There is a hand raising button or icon that you'll see on the top of your screen. It might display on the bottom of your screen. So if you want to raise your hand, if you've got a question, you can raise your hand. When we get to the questions and answers section, Megan will basically come on and she will ask you to ask your question. Okay, if you'd prefer your question to be asked and answered, feel free to put it in the chat box and we'll go through it. We are going to have a short questions and answers per topic. Okay, so it just makes it a lot easier. If we're on that topic, we can go straight into the questions and answers, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Okie dokes. Guys, we're diving right in now. Fidelity Fund Certificates, FFCs. Everybody has issues with Fidelity Fund Certificates. Well, I'm sure a lot of you have had issues with them. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, the FFC now runs for a 3-year period, and it will be renewed in the year that is stated on the top of your FFC. So if you issued if you applied for your FFC in 2023, your FFC will be valid to 2025. You will have that 2025 at the top of your FFC. So you will need to renew your FFC in that year. Please, very, very important. Your FFC is only valid once you have actually received your FFC in hand or downloaded it. You have to download it from the PPRA portal. It is no longer emailed to you. When you want to access your PPRA portal, you're going to need your ID number, your 7-digit reference number, and your surname to log in. The PPRA will allow you to obviously check all of your information. You can update. You can also change your address, your telephone number, etc. You can also go on there and check your qualification status. All of these sort of things, you can obviously get in touch with Logbook Solutions if you're not sure what to do, and Megan or Danny can run you through that. Guys, if you are new to the industry and you've applied for your FFC via the PPRA portal, you must ensure that you've uploaded the correct documentation. So on the slide, we've listed here documents required to process your FFC application. The PPRA have become very, very strict with regards to the documents. If your ID is not recently certified, it used to be 3 months, it's now within the past 6 months. I would say if you're applying for an FFC, get the ID recently certified. Okay, your PPRA application form has to be the recently updated one. There has been a couple of PPRA application forms that have been going around. The latest one is on the PPRA website. If you need it, get in touch with us. We'll send it through to you. Okay, your letter of employment, very important. It has to be on the template that is supplied to you from the PPRA. If you're struggling with it, get in touch with us. So if you've now registered, you've applied for your FFC online, you've followed the process, you've uploaded all of your documents, the PPRA say that your FFC should be issued within 7 to 14 working days. Remember, you have to make payment to the PPRA for your Fidelity Fund certificate. When you make payment for that Fidelity Fund certificate, please make sure you only ever use your 7-digit reference number. Whenever you're paying the PPRA, 7-digit reference number, no F in front of it, no initials behind it, only that 7-digit reference number. Otherwise, the finance department will not be able to allocate your payment, and it will cause further delays for your FFC. Right, let's move on. Okay, PPRA FFC fees, along with other fees for the PPRA. The PPRA have recently, very swiftly, implemented updated fees for all of their services, along with Fidelity Fund certificates. We've put there the updated prices for FFCs. So we've had numerous applications in the past month that have paid the PPRA fee, the old fee. So the old fee was 2074 if you were a new registered candidate. It has now gone up to 2198. Although you've processed the application online, you've made payment of the old fee. The PPRA now, because they've updated their fees, they've updated their finance department, it is now not allocating your FFC because you haven't paid the new 2024-2025 fees. So you will need to pay a top-up. Get in touch with us if you need any assistance with regards to this. Remember, we're going to have a questions and answers session just now when we finish with Fidelity Fund certificates, so we can address any of those queries that you have. Just some additional notes for everybody to take advantage of with regards to Fidelity Fund certificates. The FFCs that are going to be displayed or that are being released now going forward, they're going to be displaying the agent's personal physical address, not the agency address. Your FFC certificate will now change to reflect your industry status, and it will have your 7-digit reference number. We're going to go through the breakdown shortly in the next slide. FFCs will no longer show the agency name on it. It will only show the industry. So it will state estate agency, okay? It will state real estate. We're not quite sure. The PPRA have changed it a couple of times, but it looks like it will be estate agency. This is quite an important one to remember going forward. Should you do a change of employment, your FFC will not change. An FFC will be required for each sector. Okay, so your FFC for your change of employment will not change. You will still use your FFC that you have. You won't get a new FFC. It will only be processed on your PPRA profile. So it will show when you log in under your FFC history, it will show your change of employment. This is also quite an important point to note. An FFC will be required for each sector. So let me just explain this in a little bit more detail. If you are working as a real estate agent or a property practitioner, but you are also working as a managing agent, you cannot hold one FFC and work in 2 industries. You have to hold 2 FFCs. Okay, we can go into this a little further if anybody's got any questions when we get to the questions and answers. Right, everybody, let's just go through the FFC numbering breakdown. So as you can see on the slide here, you've got the various industries. So they have now broken it down into your various industries, and they have basically they've given codes or numbers. So 01 is estate agents, 02 attorney employees, 03 auctioneers, so on and so forth. Okay, so if you have a look on the right-hand side over here, your example, so this is how your FFC numbering or your certificate is going to be numbered. It's going to give you a year. It's then going to list the industry. So if you're an estate agent, it will have 01. Okay, and then it will have your role or your status. So if you are a non-principal, if you're a candidate, it will have the numbering system as shown in the picture below. And then it will have your unique 7-digit reference number, which is quite great because a lot of agents have really been struggling. Previous FFCs in the past, you used to have 7-digit reference numbers. They don't anymore. Okay, so that's your FFC numbering system. There's also a couple of things to note here. So the PPRA have started registering FFCs under the various industries. So there are 12 sectors making up the various role players, and the latest being managing agents and attorney employees. The application process is still exactly the same. You still go on to the PPRA portal, you still process the application online, and you complete everything according to as they request it. And then your FFC will be issued with the numbering breakdown as listed on the slide there. All right, so it's quite short and sweet with regards to Fidelity Fund certificates. I wanted to keep it, to the point. I'm just going to ask Megan if we've got any questions, just to see if anybody's got a question for us.
Hi everyone, if you have any questions to ask, please use the raise hand button at the top of your screen now so that we can make sure to get to your question. Hi, I've got WP Mayer with his hand raised. I have enabled your microphone. Just unmute on your side and ask your question.
Hi, yeah, I just want to find out What is the process for a mortgage originator to register? Obviously, I don't know. Do they also need to do the whole logbook and all of that stuff? Yeah, just want to find out how do we register them?
Great. Hi, Mr. Mayor. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. It's a very valid question. So yes, you would be registering them, but unfortunately, currently the PPRA is still in the process of basically ironing out that whole FFC registration process for mortgage originators. They are in one of the 12 sectors that the PPRA are going to be registering, but they haven't released any information with regards to registering those or that sector as of yet. So obviously we are in touch with the PPRA regularly. As soon as we have an update with regards to that, we can most definitely get back to you. And I will ensure that Megan also notes your question and any information that we need to send to you pertaining to mortgage originators, etc. we can send on through to you.
Perfect. Thanks.
No problem. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
If there are any further questions, please raise your hand now.
Okay, great. Let's move on. We're going on to new educational process, which I think is what everybody's joined us here for today. So although we don't have a huge amount of information for you, we definitely have some very valuable information for you. So let's get straight into it. We've got the old process. So the new educational process versus the old educational process. The old educational process is for candidates, property practitioners that are currently registered with a Fidelity Fund certificate. You are still going to follow the old process. So you are going to find a registered estate agency to work under if you're brand new in the industry. If you have candidates working under you, they still have to follow this process. So simple, apply for FFC. You then have to complete your logbook over a 12-month period. Submit the logbook to the PPRA. Remember, please, principals or property practitioners that are busy doing your logbook, it is very, very important for you to remember that your logbook cannot be submitted to the PPRA before 12 months from your first issue of your FFC. When I say issue, that means your FFC in hand. You've downloaded it, you've got it on file. You cannot start your logbook process or your internship process while you are waiting for your FFC. I've had so many clients in the past that have said, I've applied for my FFC 4 months ago. I still haven't received it, but I've already started my internship. No, please, you cannot do that. And also, it's going to take so much time out of your internship period. So when you apply for your FFC, ensure that you get your FFC issued, then you start your internship. You can then go on to finding an accredited service provider for your NQF4. I've got some exciting news coming on your way for that as well. And you would then complete your NQF4 real estate. With the NQF4 real estate, there's two options here. You can either complete the full qualification. Okay, the full qualification I would suggest is more for agents that are literally just entering the industry, that want to do basically the full qualification. They want to get all the information that they need. They want to attend the online classrooms. They want to attend the webinars. You're going to complete 3 portfolio guides. And obviously, if you don't have matric, you have to do a matric module. If you've been in the industry, excuse me, if you've been in the industry for more than a year, you've held a valid Fidelity Fund certificate for a year or more, you can opt to complete the NQF4 RPL. So the NQF4 RPL is a shorter version of the qualification. Sorry about that. I've had a bit of a cold, so I've got a bit of a cough still. Okay, so it's a shorter version of the qualification. It's 1 portfolio guide, and it is a self-study program. Once you've passed or once you've completed that NQF4 qualification, you've received your competency certificate, you then go on to register for the PDE4 exam. Okay, so once you've registered for that PDE4 exam, or shall I say before that, you need to ensure that you've got your competency certificate. Your intern logbook has been updated on the PPRA portal. Only once those two things are done, can you then register for the PDE4 exam. Right, sorry about that, guys. Got a terrible cough here. Just grabbed a quick Halls. Hopefully that's going to help my cough. Okay, so sorry, once again, we've done logbook. Okay, that's been submitted to the PPRA. You've done your NQF4. You've got your competency certificate. You then go on to write your PDE4 exam. You can't write your PDE4 exam before those two things are updated on the portal. Once that's updated, you write the PDE4 and you are now qualified as a non-principal property practitioner. Okay, let's go on to the new process. The new process, please bear in mind, everybody, that this is only going to start from the 1st of July. It is due to be launched from the 1st of July. But obviously, timeframes can change. The PPRA have stipulated from the 1st of July that everybody that registers from the 1st of July has to complete the new educational process. Now, the new educational process is quite a bit different to the old process. I just want to clarify so everybody understands 100%. If you are currently registered with a Fidelity Fund certificate, you follow the old process. If you register after the 1st of July, you're going to follow the new process. New process. You first find an accredited service or training provider to complete what they're calling the occupational qualification real estate. Once you've signed up with that training provider, you're then going to complete the new occupational qualification, parts 1 and 2, which is based on knowledge and practical. Once you have completed those two parts, you then go on to register for a Fidelity Fund certificate with an agency. So from our communication with the PPRA, what they are trying to ensure here is that anybody that enters the industry has knowledge of what they're actually getting into. They want to actually ensure that they know what the real estate environment is about before they go and invest all this money into an FFC. So then you would apply for your Fidelity Fund certificate and you would complete the new occupational qualification, part 3, which is your workplace training, 180 days, 6 months, 6 modules, they call it. So this would be the practical side of it. This would encompass the logbook side of it. We are still awaiting the PPRA to communicate with training providers with regards to what those practical components are going to be made up of. What they are requesting, though, is that the principals are going to be participating quite a bit more in this practical training side of it. But once we get some more information from the PPRA, we'll be able to communicate that with you. So now you've completed your workplace training, 180 days, 6 months, you've got your FFC, you've completed the knowledge and the practical side of the qualification. You then go on to write an external integrated summative assessment. Okay, so it's called an EISA exam. So this is your last step in your qualification. Once you've written that exam, you then go on to register for the PDE4 exam. So it's quite a bit different in the essence that you're not submitting a logbook to the PPRA and then you're having to do the NQF4 through another provider. They're trying to encompass it all into one. Once you have written and read, once you've registered, you've paid for the PDE4 exam, you've passed, you have now completed the necessary educational requirements to be a qualified non-principal property practitioner. Okay, so like I say to everybody, please bear in mind the timeframes here from the PPRA are 1st of July 2024. It could change, but they are pretty adamant that the new process will kick in from 1st of July 2024. So if you are busy with any of your educational requirements, or you've got any questions, let's deal with that now. But before I pass you over to Megan, or just see if we've got any questions from the audience, I have some very exciting news from Logbook Solutions. We are in the process of becoming accredited to offer the NQF4 and NQF4 RPL. And we'll also be further down the line offering NQF5 and NQF5 RPL. So we will definitely be able to offer that same professional service that we do. And we are anticipating our accreditation to come through by the middle of June. So please keep a watch out on our Facebook page, get in touch with us, and we can obviously share the necessary information with you. Okay, let's see, any questions? Any hands raised? I don't see any hands raised. Okay, I've obviously covered everything so far for everybody. Okay, so let's just move on to the professional designated exam, because I've covered everything up until now with regards to the education. We've gone through fidelity fund certificates. This is your next step. So you've done a logbook. You have completed your NQF4. You've received your competency certificate. You have ensured that it has been sent to the PPRA. They've updated your qualification status. You are now ready to take your final step to do your PDE exam. Firstly, in case anybody is on here that has just written the exam, please note the PPRA have started releasing results for the February exam. So keep on checking on your PPRA portal. If you're not sure of anything, get in touch with Megan, Danny, or myself, and we can assist you there. Right, so what is PDE and how does it work? So as I explained, this is your last step in your educational process of becoming a qualified property practitioner. The professional designation exam, PDE, is an open book examination that is required to be written by all property practitioners. In order to comply with the exam or for the exam, like I've said, you need to have submitted your logbook, completed your NQF4, or alternatively been exempted for your NQF4. So I didn't actually touch on that. I'm just going to quickly go into that. If you have a degree or a diploma and you would like to be exempted from having to complete the NQF4 qualification, get in touch with us and we can obviously advise you. Your degree or diploma needs to be at least 3 years. It needs to have some sort of business management, project management, marketing management, and it needs to be of a level NQF5 or higher. Get in touch with us. So if you can be exempted from the NQF4, then you don't have to do that qualification. Okay, so we've just given you a quick screenshot there of how your portal should look in order to basically write the PDE4 exam. Okay, so over here, if that little green tick wouldn't be there for PDE4, you would basically then be eligible to write the PDE4. We've got some new dates released for the PDE exam. Very, very important for everybody to remember, if you're going to be registering for the next exam, registration is closed for this exam, which is on the 16th of May. The next exam fee, your fees have gone up. Your next exam fee for PDE4 is going to be 1,291 Rand, and PDE5 is going to be 1,690 Rand. Remember, we will send you through the slideshow, and if you'd like us to send you through any of the attachments, we will also pop those through to you with the PDE exam dates, etc. Right, I don't see any hands raised. Everybody's very quiet, so we're moving through pretty quickly. Okay, so after you have completed your PDE4, you are now a qualified property practitioner. Well done, fantastic. Your next step, and it has to be completed every single year, is CPD. CPD is continuing or continued, some say continuing, some say continued professional development. This is a compulsory requirement for all property practitioners. You are required to complete the CPD the year after writing your exam. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, if you have written PDE for this year and you've gotten your results, or you're in the process of getting your results, you will only need to start CPD in 2025. You've got 4 modules per year, totaling 12 modules over a 3-year cycle. The PPRA fee for your CPD per year is 1,700 Rand. Please bear in mind, if you do not pay these fees, you will start incurring penalties. Even further, if your CPD is not paid and not completed, they can block your PPRA profile, okay? And this, I can guarantee you, is exceptionally difficult to try get unblocked. So please, please make sure that you keep up to date with your CPD. We also offer assistance with that. If you need us to take you through the platform, the CPD PDP plan, get in touch with us. We can help you. So if everybody understands CPD, it is, like I said, a compulsory requirement. You have to comply with the PPRA and their regulations. When you go onto your CPD platform, you log in as you would normally log in for your Fidelity Fund certificate. On the right-hand side, you will see a little tab that says My CPD. So you have to complete this every year. When you log into your CPD, you have to then create a PDP plan, which is your professional development plan. Once this is created, the platform will then notify you that you have to make a payment. Your payment is normally allocated within 48 hours, as long as you paid the correct amount and used the correct reference number. Okay, if you have a problem allocating it, you can either get hold of the PPRA or you can get hold of us. Wow, that went very, very quickly. We have pretty much come to the end of our presentation. It was short and sweet, but I think it's given you all enough information with regards to the PPRA, the updated fees, your educational requirements, you as a qualified property practitioner, what is required of you. So I'm just going to check and see with Megan if we've got any other questions, if we've got any hands raised.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this presentation. If there are any general inquiries, be it pertaining to the slideshow or not, please raise your hands now so that we can attend to your questions.
Right, everybody's very quiet, so I think I must have gotten through to everybody and explained everything 100%. So for that today, I'm going to sign off and thank you very much again for joining us. We will send you through the presentation along with the updated schedule of fees, and we hope to see you again in the next month. We will be hosting these every month with updates from the PPRA and any other educational updates that we receive. And going forward, remember, we are almost there. We're going to be accredited, so we're going to be able to offer you the whole package, from FFC assistance to logbooks to NQF4, exemptions, agency registrations, etc. So please get in touch with us. If you need anything, we're here to help. Have a great day, everybody. Bye, everybody. Cheers.